Hello guys, hope you're doing good. Hope you're cool. This is USABASI KONA with your celebrity master art, Joshua Jonah, and my co-host art.
Nyakirario Feligona.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, and we thank you so much for staying tuned. And today tunabarikiwa hapa to have Collins Brandon Rotundo, the current president at the Cooperative University of Kenya. Acha tumwache ajiintroduce, atuambie mawili matatu that we don't know about him. The floor is yours, Collins.
Hello guys, I'm Collins Brandon Rotundo, the current CUK president, 1 month old. I'm happy to be with you today in USABASI KONA.
Okay. So what is the 1, 2, 3 things apart from core president and your name that students don't know about you? Zenye ungetaka maybe they know ama to the world, not even the students alone. Who is Collins?
I'm just a normal person. I don't want to use the name hustler. People might say I'm related to UDA. but yeah, I do small hustles here and there just to sustain myself. And like any normal person, my life is just normal. Yeah.
Like what's your inspiration through politics or leadership?
My inspiration and what drives me towards politics direction is actually my mother, who was my mentor when it comes to the political field, and that's where I started from. Yeah.
So bado saizi she's your mentor ama cause when she was sad, this means saizi bado ni mentor kama saizi na mentor mwingine.
She is still my mentor because your teacher is always a teacher as long as you stay. Yeah. Ukimaliza shule bado ni mwalimu wako.
So what is the difference before, say you are a president of an institution leading a lot of students, and there before kuna ile like you felt like a student, kuna a certain difference you can tell to the students that you're feeling right now?
Definitely there's a difference because now people accord me a lot of respect, which sometimes is unnecessary. Mtu overrate the seat of the presidency, hey, then the president and stuff. And we are still normal students. It's only that I have a mandate and I'm holding an office to serve these students in their problems, and I'm their link between the management and them. That is the only difference which is there. Sure. But when it comes to other things, we are normal.
So wache overdo respect.
Wache overdo.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was your transition from a student to a student leader? How was that transition? The change kutoka kwa student?
The change is that right now as a president, you have a lot of things at your hands. As in even very many students who experience even personal challenges reach out to you to give them a solution. So you have a lot at your back to deal with. At the same time, you have a normal life to live. At the same time, you have studies and classes to attend. Yes.
Okay, and how does your office operate, like your office of the SGC? Because wewe ndo chairperson wao. How do you guys operate when you're given a duty? Do you take it personally ama you tend
work as a team?
Work as a team. How do you operate?
First of all, I believe each and every leader who's in SGC was elected to different posts, which the Constitution states very well their mandate. And if we have issues related to another docket, we might as well leave it to that person to solve it. If it's difficult for him to solve it, or kama iko overwhelming, then we come in as a team and we help. But everything we do in unison. Even right now, as students are doing exams and we're having very many challenges, we come in, you can see me, the president, pushing, even though I'm not the academic secretary. I'm still there working for these people because we were elected to serve them. And they are the main reason to us why the Students' Governing Council exists. Yes.
And like, since today, like students, they have a lot of challenges. Na shule pia, like, tusema social wise, the hostels, the way they interact hapo ndani, like hostels tusema, si eti ni mbaya, but haziko zile fiti. How are you guys working to improve the sanitation inside there?
Basically, I want first of all to say that in public institutions, we have that challenge. It's not only in the Cooperative University of Kenya, first of all. And secondly, I believe from where I sit, and also the management is really trying to ensure that the students, the amount they pay for these hostels is equivalent to the amount of services that they get at that time. So also from my side, I'm trying to push as much as I can. I'm working with the accommodation office and also the cleaners to maintain these hostels clean, because as at now, that is what we can do from where we sit. Yeah.
Na pia still that is still story ya social welfare accommodation in, because like unapata most of the students wanaishi pale Gataka, Rongai, Ngong. Unapata like these are landladies and landlords take advantage and maybe they raise the price ya rents. So hapo unajua tu the students have no other option other than kufit kwa hiyo increased amount kulipewa rent. Unaona, but if maybe chuo ama you as your team maybe na pia coordinate na shule to add like more hostels ama kufanya the hygiene kwe more yani kwe fiti, don't you think maybe must do that suffering to increase rent nini bills pia?
Yeah. It's a wonderful question and a good point. I believe in the years to come, we are developing university, and you've said coming up with enough hostels and what have you. I want to tell you that there's no single university that has enough hostels for all the students who study there, first of all. But as recently we've seen our institution trying to do some constructions, and I believe in the years to come, they are going to at least make this change of hostels and at least increase the number to reduce the number of students who live outside the school. Yes.
And at this moment, we're having examination, and we all believe that the main reason we're in school mostly is because of the academic part.
Yeah.
And how do you intend to change the issues in masomo servers, if not for the students right now, at least for the future students who are going to join the university?
Okay. I believe, since this pandemic came, it was something which was not foreseen. So the school was not used to doing online studies mostly, because we had few students who were doing the e-learning part of it. But now, since the pandemic came, the school can never stay stagnant. We need students to continue learning, and time is not on our side. Time is also elapsing. So the school opted to move to online studies, and we know everything comes with its challenges. Even today, you can have a girlfriend, mtaanza vizuri, mtacheka, but tomorrow or the days to come, you'll be having wrangles, you'll be fighting, na mtakuwa mkikosana mkirudiana. That is the same situation. Right now, the school is trying its best to make sure the systems sustain the students. Yeah, and I believe as we go on, they are keeping on to improve the systems.
Okay, I was
for
on
the
the
same.
streets the last time
Yeah.
about the diploma students who have already started their examinations, and few of them are complaining that they are facing a lot of problems and with those exams. Like unapata msi log in kwa exam, then ameanza time imeanza kujicount, then the database error occurs, huyo student time yake inaenda ikielapse. Maybe by the time database inarudi time imebaki like imeisha ama imebaki kidogo, inajisubmit before the student anamaliza, anaenda kupewa marks yenye hakuwa anadeserve. So how can you address that issue?
Yeah, I want to acknowledge and accept that we have hickeys when it comes to the system. Furthermore, the issues of the database and what have you. But I'll still stand firm by saying that there's nothing which doesn't have hickeys. Everything has its bad sides. And also the system pia iko na shida zake ambazo saa zingine zinatatuliwa na bado zinarudi. They cannot be solved permanently. But the ICT team which we have has really worked very well this time around to ensure that the exams continue very well. I know the complaints are there, and I am aware the first day of exams is when we had very many issues, until we had to persuade with the management to at least postpone the exams to reduce the number of issues that the students have, and it was done like that. But also at the same time as we speak, we have students who are ignorant. You find that as we postpone the exam to the next day, the students relax and say now we have 24 hours, you see. But they should also remember their working hours, ambazo very many students at that time walikuwa na share issues zao na mimi, and I also forwarded the issues to ICT to solve them. But you find that somebody is texting me at 10 in the evening, 10 at night, and he's telling me I have this and this an issue. And if I ask, why do you have to wait for last minute? They have nothing to say. To also our students, they should take it up na pia wao wafanye vitu zao mapema. Also, I'm also urging the degree students that we can avoid very many issues since they're going to start the exams next week. They should follow up. If there's an issue with finance, follow up as early as now. And if there's an issue with what do we call ICT and what have you, they should do everything early enough for purposes of smooth flowing of the exams. Yes.
Okay, and like so Saizi, you are the one in charge of the students in Kopa, the leader. Like, what are you trying to work for them and ilikuwa previously so that bad thing though wasisafe maybe in the next like 2020, 2021, 2022 wasisafe kitu walisafa 2019, 2020?
We have several issues which are there. First of all, one of the most issues that mimi nataka kushughulikia sana is that during this pandemic time tumekosa co-curricular activities sana ambazo zinafanya our students wana engage in different things of which the management is fighting. And due to my government and the time that we have, just the other day we had an inter-classes week where we had our students participating in the same. And it was lively, at least students walikuwa wanacheza mpira hapo, mtu ana engage in football. Whatever I want to do is to come up with very many co-curricular activities saizi that students watahusika na mambo kama haya, which might not drive them to the other things, which lead them to the...
Yeah. So you recently advertising the men's conference. What's the main agenda for the men's conference?
Throughout the years, we have ladies who are given a lot of concentration, thus leaving out the men. Nasema mnaona hizi advertisement ama memes zinasema mwanaume ni kukula mawe. You're not supposed to cry.
Dry na mchanga.
Mwanaume. Yes, such adverts. In the real sense, we have men who are struggling with life, men who face a lot of problems, men who face depression. And that was why we want to come up with a men's conference. We also want to come up with a platform where the men will feel part of it na watapia kuwa na pahali ambapo wataweza share their issues and they can also be solved. You can also give them solutions. That is basically why we are marketing that, and we are urging very many men come on Friday to attend.
Now, like talking about unavyoimetaja depression, ukiangalia pia like most of the students who go through depression but they can't speak out or they trust nobody to share all their passing through. Like, unaweza ambia like which step should they take? Like kama ni wa students wa chuo hapo hivyo.
I believe now that everybody has a best friend or has a confidant. And if you have an issue, you should at least share with someone. Do at least unaitoa. If you keep it to yourself, it will eat you up. No matter how strong you are, you might be strong just out here, but ndani inaendelea kuisha, unaona. So people should be at least have one or two persons they can talk to in case of any issue. At least it can bring a solution to their problems. And I also want to ask the ladies, our ladies, to stop giving men hard time. You might find a man has 500 shillings, and the lady anasema, babe, you know I want to make my hair. How much is your hair? My hair is 2,000 shillings. Hapo niko na 500. Sasa napata anakuja nakwambia nao ni aje bana. Nisaidie 1,500 na kurudishia next week. In the real sense, I don't know where I can get that money. So the ladies should be able to understand men and leave their students, and they live by their means and what they can afford.
I think the only lady here, maybe I should say it's a two-way situation.
Yeah.
And mnafaa kuunderstandiana na mtu wako. Like you should date someone, maybe you see like tunawezana huku, si msi atakuwa anani strain sana. So if you see it's not working for the men, there's no way you can put yourself to depression. See it, umefosiwa to do anything, you can part ways and
Na
look for
hii
someone
kizungu
who
naongea hii.
unapatana.
Hii kizungu umekopa leo.
Very many ladies tend to think relationships are all about money, all about going to fancy places, but that is not the real case. You must live by your means. If I'm able to take you to Mombasa today, then I can. And if I'm not able, you shouldn't compare me to another couple which is well off. You see?
But at the end of the day, we have different classes. Everyone, kuna vile ako different. So we should expect different behaviors from different people.
Okay.
But in that case, there are so many students wondering, the degree students who are supposed to go for a long holiday. There are some rumors that wanafaa kuenda, kuna rumors zingine that tunaendelea na semester on October of this year. Do you have a clear communication about that so that the students hear from you?
I believe that is a management-based issue, and the management is yet to make its official communication. But from where I sit, I know the students who are in their second semesters, the job students are supposed to go for a long holiday because we're also having our intake, and it's going to be an overload in the school. So according to the last Senate meeting that I attended, it was decided that students who are in 2.2 or 1.2 are going for long holiday, and 3.2, and at least the memo was out yesterday that 3.2 students are supposed. So I believe it is in order that way, and we shouldn't work with rumors. We should work with facts which are on the table, and I believe very soon enough the school will issue an official communication on which students will proceed to the next semester come October.
Okay, and let's go east side ingine pia. You being as a student leader na leader institution, and how can you relate that leadership that you have and the one nationwide?
How can I relate? As in, I've not really got your question very well.
Kama niache kizungu niache Feligona.
Kizungu achie ambao anajua.
Si mdomo ya kila mtu.
Your view yako hii side ya student leadership la free nation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very many people who are members of parliament today, senators and even governors, are student leaders. So I believe leadership is also a process. It has a starting point and a foundation to where we go next. And so that's how I can relate it, first of all. And secondly, the leaders, we have very many youths and people who come out from student leadership to want to bring someone outside there. And we as youths, we have the largest number. But the problem and challenge that we face is that a youth rather votes for an old man who gives him or her 50 shillings or rather 100 shillings than to consider a young mind and fresh mind like him or her to serve in that particular seat. So the youths should wake up and consider themselves first, because nobody is going to consider you before you consider yourself.
Now, how do you think nini nafanya how youths go for that old man than their fellow youth?
You know, sometimes the old men who are here have been in the system for quite some long time, and now these people have huge sums of money to do their campaigns. Unlike a person who's finished from university, you are struggling still. You don't have that large amount of money to give to people, and people tend to think that you're useless. If you don't have money, what can you tell them? Nowadays, people have taken it that money is the root of everything.
Sure.
That if you don't have money, then there's nothing you can tell me, you see. But if you have money, then I can listen to you. We can talk. Yeah. So that is the notion which is out there. And I believe nowadays we have educated youths who should at least, in the coming election, they should make very, very nice decisions when it comes to that. Because we see very many of them complaining that, oh, youths are not getting jobs. How can they get jobs even if when they don't want to elect leaders of theirs who can help them bargain even in the parliament?
Now, nini unaona fikiria, what should we do or what should the youths do to change that mentality? Yeah, like youth mwenzetu mazea let's go with this old man.
We just have to believe in one of our own. There's no other solution. We just have to believe in one of our own and believe in the potential that they have. Having been many of them that, as I've said, come from student leadership, of which they have experience at least in leading. You know, even leading 8,000 people is like leading a ward or rather a constituency. There are constituencies which have 10,000 people. Yeah. Na hapa campus may lead 10,000 people, and you've managed very well until you finished, despite some few challenges. So which means you're ready to lead, and there's no difference actually. Leadership is leadership. Mimi when I lead university, our parents also leads a family, a father. So we are the same.
Uko na future ambition ya ku lead nationwide, ama it ends here in the university level?
It doesn't end here. Just like you start from nursery, it doesn't end in pre-unit. You continue to primary, and then to secondary, and then to university. And after that, you'll go to masters and stuff.
Okay, alafu pia unajua, like cooperative university, there are people who are talented, let's say musical wise, football, volleyball, tennis, rugby. Unapata like their talents na zinaisha tu hapo hivyo. You see, sasa nyi what are your efforts yenye mnawaka na timu yako, at least the talents that are there in that university pia zionekana?
Basically, we want to come up with something like a talent week, where us students are going to participate in that talent week. If you have this and this talent, tunakupea platform, at least una perform, unafanya kama ni kuimba unaimba, kama ni wa kucheza mpira, you can see we started considering them, the talented people in football, tennis and whatever, and the sports that the school offers. We always in my government we are going to give them a platform. In each and every semester we are going to have inter-department games, whereas the students will participate. So that is in sports line. And in the entertainment sector, even when I was being inaugurated, the Vice Chancellor stated that I should come up with more co-curricular activities, which have not been there in the past 1 year because of the pandemic. And at least now things are cooling down. We can at least work some things out. At least we come up with comedy weeks and stuff, the drama weeks, music festivals. At least our students can engage in the same. By doing that, they will have explored their talents.
Okay,
and I believe
campaigning, you had an agenda, a list of agendas that you wanted to do for the students.
Okay.
Is it early enough, or are there some few agendas that you've already fulfilled for the students?
An agenda, fulfillment is a work in progress.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress. And just the other day you saw I was marketing the institutional which was happening. That is part of my agenda in ilikuwa ile ya marketing. That's what we are working on. I've been with meetings with the PRO, trying to see how we can market our institution. In return, getting more students coming to our institution. We've had several meetings and we have planned some things which we are going to do. And we've managed to run an HIV week, which ran very well. And you can see, again, we are bringing some things like girl talk and men's conference, whereas all students will feel catered for in this particular platforms. And that's just a month old, and we have done all that. Talk about an year. You'll have to tell me.
Good things. You just have to believe in the leadership. But do you feel that still the people you were elected with are the best people you're working with? Ama is there 1, 2, 3 that must struggle kuvutana kidogo?
My team members, that is.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, while vying, I had a chance of choosing anyone to join my team.
Yeah.
Whoever I thought was best. From where I sit, my team members are doing a good job. Even when it comes, I've told you, there are very many issues here. But unapata tunashirikiana kuzididimiza. Unaona? Hizo issues zina reduce.
Bro, Kiswahili ni mdomo yetu. Kiswahili ni yangu tu hapa.
So, you work with everyone in the team? they say people change with time.
Okay.
And maybe you chose these people, hiyo time huyu msee alikuwa a nice
Comfy,
person,
then
alikuwa
during
mfiti,
work,
but with
no.
time maybe they get to change.
You know the people change with the leadership, because we have different people when wanakuanga na different agendas wakifika pale. But when your leadership has you focusing on one agenda, now all of you are in one page. The only person who puts people in line is the president. He's a total man when it comes to the SGC, you see. So the SGC wanafuata ile mkono ambayo rais anawapeleka. If rais ukikuwa rais alafu uanze kuwa na hikis hapa na pale, doing things which were not part of the things that you wanted to do when you come into the council, it doesn't go well with the team members, because they say this one is supposed to be done like this, why is it like this and stuff, you see. So but if you go there with your agenda that you guys came up with together and you are working in that line and the interest of the students is best in your hearts, I believe there is no hikis and hakuna kusumuana kwa government.
Kijana umejicompose.
Kujiaminia ogopa.
Kijana umejicompose.
Ai, tumuongea politics, siasa sana.
Okay, like
Okay,
umeona kiria mdomo. Na like leadership yako umeanza tu campus ama primary level kwa somewhere, high school level kwa somewhere? Honestly, my primary I was nothing. Secondary I was nothing. I only served as a debate chairman in when I was in Form 4. Unajua watu wako wanapenda siasa.
Yes, I was a chairman. I was a chairman of debate. Unajua time ulikuwa unaelectia one man one vote. So naweza sema pia bado high school I was something. Being a debate chairman. Yapo kuna watu wanajua kizungu kukuliko, but you still beat them.
So we ni team kuamini leaders are born ama leaders are made?
Leaders are born and made. So it goes hand in hand. If you go by I was born a leader, you will just be a leader and you are born. You must strive to get to that point and show that you are born a leader. You cannot sit and become a member of parliament.
Yeah, sure.
You cannot sit and your nomination paper picks itself for you. So you must strive for it. You must work for it. So leaders are made and born.
Sure.
Yeah, they work hand in hand.
Just same way like as Tam Sanasma, Stan nilizaliwa star kati kwenda kurekod ngoma after atakuwa superstar.
Akiwa amekaa kwenye
in the studio record.
Ajikaze. Atafute fans za kutoa videos. Sindio?
Bwana kiongozi.
Mbona kiria mdomo sasa enda
Okay, I was like, we've talked about politics so much, being a human being au kuangi na the political side pekee. The last time we met on the streets and you talked that you're single. Being the president, and it's normal to expect maybe a lot of ladies coming to you. How are you handling that? Ama maybe are there so many ladies coming, trying to approach you?
Yeah.
You gotta be honest.
Talking about that. You know, we have very many ladies who love power. They come with the power. And very many people tend to think that when you're president, you have a lot of money. You see. So far so good. I've not experienced whatever you're saying. But in as much as I say that, I'm also working some things out to at least have someone who mwananishika mkono wakati niko na challenges mingi pia mimi.
Sure.
Yeah, and very soon she'll be out here.
Na unaona watu kama hawa. Unaona mnyameingia huo mfupi huo. So timeless, watu kama kina timeless yao. Like is a young producer, anafanya kazi poa, talented. Do you think shule pia inafaa ikuwe na studio so that mwanafunzi mwenye anaweza production apewe chance hapo?
Part of the plans of the school in the years to come, we are having our field there, which is a research center. And the next building, which is upcoming, I think phase 3, it's going to have a studio where we're going to have a radio station. Yeah, and I believe in due course, it's a work in progress. We were a college, but now we are transforming to a university, and it takes time. Even we have already transformed, and it takes time to develop kukua fully equipped with all these things. Hata wewe ukianza familia You don't start with everything, with a house and a vehicle and everything. You move step by step. Yes, and the school is moving at a good pace.
So let's say soon we're having cooperative radio ama cooperative TV.
It's called COP Radio. Going to be called COP Radio.
Balance it, guys. This is USABASI KONA with your celebrity master art, Jesse Jonah and Nyakerario Feligona, our guest at Collins Brandon Otundu. Naka Mtundu.
Ni
Pia
Mtundu
on our
check.
social media handles at USABASI KONA on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment. Yeah, to appreciate sana. So before we wind up, naona leo Kirere.
Hebu bwana president atuambie 1 to 3 things Kenya you really want to share that maybe we hadn't touched.
Yenye maybe hatujawaguzia.
You know, we are having a general talk. Tunaguzia mambo ya siasa, tunaguzia mambo ya me kuwa president, tunaguzia my life. Maybe you guys can shed some more light in what you're asking.
So Collins, apart from politics, what else do you love to do? Ama what else do you enjoy doing ukiwa na free time?
Mimi kuna free time napiga sherehe.
Sherehe
Ni kama ibada. They say
Nani uliona Sonko, Mike Sonko alikuwa governor, right?
Yeah.
Ndio ile ngoma ilikuwa imetoka. Akiwa na tambula kwa ofisi akidance. Hiyo ngoma ilikuwa inaitwaje?
I don't remember.
Mr. Director. Hiyo ngoma ilikuwa inaitwaje? Si akina Mbogi Genje. Hii ngoma Over the Bar. Ilikuwa nayo basi Over the Bar. Ile Nigeria kwa in Kenyan version sasa.
So
unapiga sherehe after kazi.
So students should expect
as in what I'm saying, what I'm saying, you should be all round. You're not supposed to be one-sided. I also go to church.
Kuna sura za kanisa bro.
I also go to church, and also I can say part of my time, me by then napenda siasa sana. You can find me in the house now, watch whatever the politicians, the big wigs were doing throughout the day. You know, that's the likes of Raila, Ruto, Mudavadi and Kalonzo. Lazima nione, follow steps, nione where are we headed as a country. Yeah. I believe hizo ndio vitu ninapenda kufanya.
Na kuna kitu nilikuwa nimesahau manze. Juu of late tumeona like our youth, my youth wengi wamekuwa like my youth wengi wanataminitiwa tu their life, wanauawa, wanakufa. Na tuna believe that we youths are there.
So adredi ni wezi.
Yeah, na believe like sisi youths ndio future ya kesho. How you step on that and you know our fellow youths are just succumbing to that.
She's just mentioned that what we're dreading is
Yeah.
but nowadays, that's I believe. But nowadays, I think that has reduced sana, because even the universities, people with dreadlocks are not affected that much. You see, hiyo ni believe ambayo inakuanga, lakini nowadays people are moving. We are growing as a country and as people. Tunaendelea kumove. Hatuwezi bakia stagnant for all years. And also, the youths are facing a lot of challenges, and I believe that's why I said if we have representatives of ourselves as youths, they will stand out for us. But if you don't have, who will stand out for you? It's just like an orphan who has no parents, and something happens to this person. There's nobody who will stand out and say this one. But if you have a parent, your parent will come out bitterly to stand for you.
But like let's say unaona like hadi tuseme parents wao tu wana raise issue, government nasema itashughulikia na inanyamaza hivyo.
That's why it all goes down to the representation that we have. We don't have, as youths, we don't have representation. But if we had representation, at least tungekuwa tunapata vitu mingi zikifanywa to our side. Yes, and that's why we should also go back to the drawing board when it comes to choosing leaders, ukuwe na viongozi wenu. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay guys, so this is the Cooperative University president, and he says leadership is a process and we should trust and wait for him to fulfill maybe his agendas, and one day we'll get to appreciate and talk about it again.
And Colo Brandon, before we wind up, we need your closing tag and also your niseme social media ama social media. Social media handles zako pia penye msani za access. Before utupe hizo social media handles, your closing tag. Yeah.
My closing tag is that I want to say that anybody can be a leader at any time. It's all about that game plan. The trust is a strategy that you can issue and you can have, and the people that you work with and link yourself to. And since we finished our elections, I want to urge all my political leaders, the ones who are competing with, and the ones who vied for other seats and didn't make it, I want to tell them that there is time for everything and there is time for everyone. Like me, I struggled since I came to this university from 2018. I've been struggling, but today, as I speak, I'm now the president. It takes time and it's a process. I also want to ask them to come to KUK meza moja, and as we serve, they also bring their ideas on the table so that we can give the students the best, because I know very many of them had ideas which were very different from mine. So wakuje nazo tufanye kazi pamoja. Yes, so that we can deliver equally. If the interest of the comrades is at heart for everyone, then I believe it's manageable.
Sure.
So they are welcome for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee in my office as we discuss on the way forward to our university yetu inaendelea. Inadepend coffee gani mnataka.
Hiyo tutaongea ni attend. Hata kamera izimwe tutaongea hiyo. Okay, msane za kwa access wapi?
Yeah, actually basically I'm always active on Instagram. That's where you can find me. And Kolo Brandon, that's my handle. Pale Instagram. Kolo, yeah.
Yeah, unapenda kushukupea ma short form ya majina zenu. Kwani napenda majina zenu zikiwa full. Anyway. We appreciate sana for your time, bro. Mr. General, Mr. President. Yeah. Guys, till next time.